What's up, Bears fam? I hope you're all healthy and well. My name is Dan Durkin, and this is the All-22 Review. In today's episode, we're taking a deep dive look at second-year wide receiver Darnell Mooney to understand why all the buzz surrounding him is completely justified. Mooney is an ascending young talent who threatens all three levels of the defense. We're going to look at the skills that he flashed during his rookie season, which was definitely one to build upon, and what role I anticipate him filling in a crucial spot in Matt Nagy's office. Let's get into the tape. Darnell Mooney was the 22nd receiver selected in the 2020 draft. But when you stack up his numbers relative to his 2020 rookie peers, it's obvious that the Bears got a 5th-round steal. And just think, these numbers would have been even bigger if he had just competent quarterback play, as he more than held up his end of the bargain. Mooney's a confident young man who by all accounts has the drive to maximize his physical gifts. In his own words, here's what he wants from the 2021 season. I see all of those things happening for Mooney. To me, he's an ascending talent at a crucial position, so the arrow is definitely pointing up. He's a sudden athlete, he has excellent body control, he's a strong hands catcher, and he's a technical, precise route runner. This rep from week 4 against the Colts is my favorite from Mooney's rookie season. It wasn't the most productive catch, but to me it showcases almost all of his exceptional qualities in just one snap. With Xavier Rhodes lined up in off coverage, Mooney wins his release with a hard plant and sell inside on his 4th step. Rhodes bites and Mooney wins the sideline. Once the ball is in flight, Mooney locates it, times his leap perfectly to high point the ball with strong hands away from the defender for a 32-yard reception. Let's look at each phase of the reception. To me, there are 4 phases of a reception: the release, the break point, the catch point, and after the catch. I'll explain all of these with footage. We'll start with the release. During the release, I evaluate what and how a receiver does to get into his route stem quickly and as efficiently as possible. Football's a timing sport, so any impediment a receiver faces getting into a route can affect the play. Mooney didn't see a lot of press coverage as a rookie. A lot of that had to do with how he was aligned. They used him often as a flanker, which is outside of the tight end, off the line of scrimmage. So what that does is that prevents a defensive back from being able to press and get his hands on him off the snap. But when he did get challenged at the line, like this rep against Janoris Jenkins, he used smooth footwork to get into his route unimpeded. With a quick jab step towards the sideline, he gets Jenkins to bite and back on his heels. That creates space up the numbers on his deep post route. It's a huge gain for the Bears. That could have gone for a touchdown had he been led up the field, as there was no help over the top of the defense and he was stacked on top of Jenkins. He used the same move later in the game to shake Marshawn Lattimore enough to win the numbers again. On another deep shot that was thrown off target, Mooney won this release again with smooth footwork, no wasted motion or speed off the line of scrimmage. And the most replayed example of Mooney's fleet feet on a release came against the league's top cornerback, Jalen Ramsey. With the Bears backed up in their own territory, Mooney leaves Ramsey in the dust. He's caught peeking and trying to jump what he thought was going to be a slant route, which ended up being a sluggo, which is a slant and go up the sideline. I know the pressure was right in his face, but if Nick Foles could have floated this ball a little bit more in Mooney's direction, this is a 96-yard touchdown against the best corner in the game, completely set up by Mooney's flawless footwork off of his release. Next, we're going to talk about the break point. During the break point, I evaluate what a receiver does to separate and get open. This could be breaking leverage from a man defender or just creating more space before settling into the soft spot of his own. This first rep against the Rams, Mooney is in the move area of his route, and he threatens the cornerback with an outside stem, showing a corner route, only to break it back up the numbers on a vertical corner post route. You can't throw the ball to yourself. So Mooney did everything he could to create an opportunity for Nick Foles to at least make a long completion, if not another long touchdown. Even Allen Robinson, whom you can see in the background, thought this was 6 points. In this rep against the Giants, watch how quickly Mooney throttles down from full speed. He drops his weight to settle into the zone, and he hooks up with Trubisky on this curl route for an easy first down. Against the Panthers' cover 3 zone, Mooney again threatens the deep zone to keep the cornerback bailing, but he pumps the brakes, snaps his head around, and high points the ball on this curl route. I love how he secures the ball and then his body, knowing the zone is closing down on him. At the catch point, I evaluate what a receiver does to secure the ball from a defender. Look at the body control Mooney displays on this rep against the Atlanta Falcons as he slides to keep himself in bounds, but this also demonstrates his hand catching ability. Yes, he pins the ball to his face mask, but the ball hits his hands first and foremost. You often see players who don't catch the ball as naturally with their hands and they let it hit their pads first. That typically leads to incompletions or worse, but that's not the case with Mooney because he's a natural hands catcher. This rep against the Titans fell incomplete, but what an effort by Mooney. He tracks the ball over his shoulder and doesn't turn too early. When receivers do turn too early, they can alert the cornerback that the ball is there. Mooney waits until the ball arrives, turns, leaps, and high points it with strong hands. He was nudged just a little bit out of bounds in the process on what would have been a touchdown. I love how Mooney lays out on this catch against the Packers. He times his jump perfectly, stretches his arms, and again, soft hands to secure the catch with his hands between the ball and the ground. Another excellent effort at the catch point. Mooney is not afraid to work over the middle of the field in the intermediate zones where the linebackers roam. On this over route against the Titans, he has a linebacker converging on him, yet he works back to the ball with a hand in his face and still makes a catch. When I look at what receivers do after the catch, it's very important to get up to full speed as quickly as possible and read the open field. Mooney is a sudden, elusive athlete with legit deep speed. He can make the first defender miss, as he does on the shallow crosser with the Packers' Kevin King chasing him from behind. On this option route, he senses the closing defender and beats him to the sideline to gain extra yardage. On this bubble route against the Lions, he makes an unblocked defender miss him in the open field. And on this shallow crosser, his open field speed is too much for a pursuing linebacker, which leads to a first down yardage on a high percentage throw. On this bubble against the Texans, he follows his blockers and lowers his shoulder at the collision point to get into the end zone. This is a tough run for a touchdown by Mooney. Watch how he reads his blockers and bursts on this bubble against the Jaguars. And then on this out route, he feels the defenders to his outside, so he cuts inside to evade and get extra yardage. The challenge now for the Bears is to get Mooney the ball in space so he can really do some damage. This leads me to my last section, how I anticipate the Bears utilizing Mooney this fall. Clearly, Mooney is the number 2 receiving threat behind Allen Robinson, just as he was last season. His totals should have been bigger as a rookie, and they will be this fall, due to just more volume and becoming a bigger focus of the weekly game plans. The role I see him playing is the zebra role, much like Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. You already saw elements of it last year. They'll primarily line him up as a flanker off the line of scrimmage, but he can play split end, he can play in the slot, but they need to get him in motion. Use him in the run game, and get creative about how you're getting him the ball in space, because he's somebody who can truly make a house call in just about any route in your playbook. The arrow's pointed way up for Mooney. There's no reason to think he won't be a 1,000-yard receiver this fall and become one of Justin Fields' go-to guys for the foreseeable future. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, it's shameless self-promotion time. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help me out. And if you want to, you can also follow me on Twitter at DJ Durkin. I provide in-game, real-time analysis for all Bears games throughout the season. Please stay healthy and well. We'll see you guys soon.